Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're jumping into episode 25 of our special series, Wisdom Unveiled. And we're exploring the really profound legacy of the 12th century Persian poet and mystic, Attar Nishapur. Our insights for this deep dive, they come from a fascinating series of conversations with brilliant Iranian philosophers, Dr. Ibrahim Dinani and Dr. Ismail Mansouri Loriani. These are from their Marifat audio files. And just a quick note before we start, this is a translation of those conversations, so, some details or nuances might not be perfectly conveyed. We do apologize if there are any discrepancies. Okay, so Attar. He's really celebrated for this remarkable ability he has to take incredibly complex philosophical, ethical ideas and sort of distill them into these compelling stories and, well, really evocative poetry. What we want to do today is unpack some of his most striking concepts. We're talking everything from the bedrock of human ethics all the way to the nature of existence itself and humanity's pretty unique place within the cosmos. Okay, let's dig in. Maybe we should start with one of Attar's stories that really anchors his ethical thinking.
Yeah, that's a great place to start. There's this incredibly powerful story about a Muslim warrior, a Qazi.
Right, and an infidel, a kafir.
Exactly. They're locked in this really intense battle. It's raging. Then the Qazi asks for a pause.
To do his prayers, right?
Yes. And quite unexpectedly, the kafir agrees. Attar makes a point of saying he grants it with a pure heart.
Interesting, okay.
So the Qazi prays, comes back, and the fight resumes, maybe even fiercer now. But then the kafir asks for a similar pause.
To worship his own idol.
That's right. And the Qazi agrees. But this is the moment Attar focuses on.
The turning point?
Precisely. While the kafir is bowed down, prostrated before his idol, the Qazi suddenly sees it.
Sees what? An advantage.
A clear strategic advantage, a perfect moment to strike him down. He actually contemplates it.
Wow. Okay, so what stops him?
Well, this is where Attar introduces the Hatifi Gaibi.
The inner voice.
Yeah, an inner voice, or maybe think of it as conscience, almost like a divine whisper. It stops the Qazi cold. And this voice basically reproaches him. It says something like, "You are all faithlessness. If you strike him now, it's ignorance."
Because the kafir showed him kindness earlier.
Exactly. He was kind to you before. Don't be unjust now. Do to others as you do to yourself. And right there, that's Attar highlighting his core ethical principle, Hesahet.
Fidelity to one's word. Loyalty to a covenant.
Yes. He sees this as, like, the most important human virtue. It covers honesty, sincerity, the whole package. It's so fundamental, even the Quran says, indeed, the covenant will be questioned.
So it connects to a deeper sense of responsibility.
Absolutely. Responsibility, or masuliyat, which Attar believes stems from our intellect, our equal, and also our innate human drive to question things, to be sale. He basically says humans are, inherently philosophers. We can't help but ask questions.
Like kids always asking why.
Exactly like that. That pure, fundamental inquiry about the world, about God. That's the root.
So, back to the story. The Qazi doesn't strike him. What happens next?
Well, the kafir finishes his worship, looks up, and sees the Qazi is distressed.
Oh, so?
There are tears, confusion, a look of shame on his face. The kafir asks him what's wrong.
And the Qazi tells him the truth.
He does. He admits that his inner self, that voice, reproached him for even thinking about breaking his word, about being unjust.
And the kafir's reaction.
It's profound. He's so incredibly moved by this display of fidelity, this commitment to principle, even towards an enemy, that he immediately asks about the God and the faith that commands such integrity.
And he converts.
He converts to Islam, right there on the spot.
Wow. So the takeaway here is what? That moral integrity is more powerful than force.
That seems to be exactly Attar's point. A single act of genuine moral principle achieved what the fighting couldn't. It's the power of integrity in action.
Really makes you think.
And the core maxim Attar pulls from this is just so potent. Do to others as you do to yourself.
Simple, but incredibly deep.
He implies this one line basically contains all of ethics. You could compare it to, say, Kant's categorical imperative in Western philosophy.
Maybe even deeper.
Perhaps. It's about actively extending the good you want for yourself, happiness, benefit to others, even to enemies.
That's a high bar.
It is.
Yeah.
Attar also makes an interesting side point about conversation, saying there are, 3 levels. Lowest are people who only talk about other people, then those who talk about events. But the highest level, those who express universal ideas, like Attar himself.
And ethics comes from that realm of ideas.
That's his view. It's not like science derived from observation. Ethics emerges from this deeper internal space. And this fidelity is tied into adab, manners. propriety.
How so?
If you lack fidelity, you lack true adab, true manners. You become untrustworthy. It cancels out other virtues.
And what causes this lack of fidelity, according to Attar?
He pins it on superficiality, short-sightedness, living just for the immediate gain, the fleeting moment.
Whereas true fidelity
Comes from a deep vision, seeing beyond the now, seeing into, well, eternity.
That's a powerful contrast, moving from that immediate gain to a much broader, more profound vision. Okay, so we've seen how Attar grounds his ethics. Let's shift gears a bit now towards his more metaphysical side, particularly how he understands the Prophet Muhammad's nature and his cosmic role.
Right, this is where Attar gets really expansive.
He has this line in his Embodiment, "From Muhammad is the Sadr and Badr of the world." What does that mean exactly?
Okay, so Sadr, it doesn't mean beginning in a simple chronological way. Think of it more like the fundamental source.
The origin, the
Like-
highest principle.
Exactly, the ultimate wellspring from which everything flows. And Badr, that means the full moon, light.
Illumination, guidance.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So put them together. Attar is painting the prophet not just as a historical figure, but as the cosmic origin and the guiding light for all of creation.
That's a huge claim.
It is. And it connects to that well-known sacred tradition, the Hadith Qudsi. If not for you, Muhammad, I would not have created the heavens or the universe.
So Attar sees the prophet as the reason for creation, the ultimate purpose.
Yes, the Ilat al-Gaya, the final cause or purpose of existence. Which raises a fascinating question Attar implicitly asks.
Which is,
Is humanity here for the universe, or is the universe here for humanity?
and Attar leans towards the latter.
He implies the universe exists for the sake of the perfect human. Why? Because only humanity truly grasps meaning. Humanity serves as the matla al-haqiqat, the locus of truth. Purpose and understanding are key.
So when he talks about a superior human, what does that mean? Is it a different kind of being?
No, not a different species. That's crucial. Prophets embody the absolute peak of human potential, but within the human realm. Their perfection is achieving that as humans, showing what we're all capable of, in essence.
And this Seder status, this sourceness,
Yeah.
it exists outside of time.
Attar suggests it signifies a timeless meaning. Existing above time in these eternal realms he calls Dar and Sarmad. It's about a primordial reality, not just linear history.
Which brings us to that paradox he mentions. We are the last, the foremost. How can that be?
Right, sounds like a contradiction on the surface.
Last and first.
Okay, last is chronological. The Prophet Muhammad is the final prophet in the historical sequence, sealing the line of revelation.
Makes sense. But foremost.
Foremost refers to that origin, that intrinsic meaning, the spiritual reality we just talked about. That precedes everything in a timeless, essential way.
Ah, I see. Last in time, but first in essence or rank.
Exactly. You see echoes of this in traditions like, we glorified God and the angels learned from us, suggesting a pre-existence. And Rumi put it beautifully. Though in form, I am born of Adam, in meaning I am Adam the ancestor.
So for you listening, how does this challenge our usual way of thinking? This linear view of history, of greatness? Could there be other truths, other figures whose essence is foremost, even if they appear later in time? It's something to think about.
It definitely pushes us beyond simple timelines, and this foremost reality makes the prophet the ultimate muta awalin wa akharin.
The role model for the first and the last.
Yes, the Uswatun Hasana, the excellent example. His inherent perfection makes him the most complete guide, relevant across all ages. Attar says his speech is truthful in word on earth and in heaven.
Meaning its truth holds everywhere. Physical world, angelic realm.
All levels of existence. It's universally valid. And then there's this incredible description.
Yeah.
Attar says the prophet was pakazjan, pure from the world.
What did that imply?
It implies a kind of boundless comprehension. Attar says he encompassed 100 worlds in one world.
How is that possible?
Through complete detachment from worldly attachments. Think about it. If you're totally tied down to one place, one perspective, you can't truly understand another. But if you achieve this profound purity, this detachment, then all worlds can reflect within you. It allows for limitless insight.
So again, for you listening,
Yeah.
how might cultivating even a little of that purity, that detachment, affect your ability to understand things, your own insights day to day?
It's a practical invitation, really.
It is. And this purity leads to another radical idea from Attar about miracles. He says the prophet's actions, filihi hujat waham mujizat.
Meaning every single action was both a proof, hujat, and a miracle. which is that.
Which is different from how we usually think of miracles, right? We think of big, spectacular events.
Exactly. Parting the sea, raising the dead, the extraordinary exceptions.
But Attar's view is broader.
Much broader and deeper. For him, the prophet's very existence, the way he looked at people, the way he spoke, the way he walked, all of it was miraculous.
Why? Because no one else could do it in the same way.
Precisely. Because those actions stemmed from that ultimate purity and unique connection. They carried an inimitable truth and power. It wasn't just the outward action, but its essential nature.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about the story of Pebbles testifying to his prophethood.
Yeah, a classic miracle story.
But Attar flips it slightly. He suggests the miracle wasn't that Pebbles started praising God in his view. Everything always praises God, constantly. The miracle was that the prophet's presence, his being, made that eternal ongoing praise audible to others.
Ah, so he revealed something that was already true but hidden.
Exactly. He unveiled a universal reality that was always there, just unperceived.
That really expands the definition of a miracle. It makes you look for the extraordinary within the ordinary.
It's a call to look deeper, absolutely. To see the inherent truth or potential in actions, words, even just a presence that might seem mundane otherwise.
Fascinating. Okay, moving towards the core of existence now. Attar talks about the universal intellect. The Quelli Kul.
Yes. The universal intellect of all the world is his.
What is this universal intellect?
It's often understood as the very first creation, the primordial intelligence that contains all potential knowledge, all wisdom.
And Attar connects this directly to the prophet.
He suggests that the prophet's message embodies the totality of this universal intellect. So, by truly receiving and integrating that message,
An individual can achieve wholeness, aligned with reality.
that's the idea. Spiritual completion through connection to this ultimate source.
Attar also plays with letters sometimes, doesn't he? With names.
He does. It's a common mystical practice.
Yeah.
He points out the letter Mim. Muhammad's name has two. Ahmad, another name for the prophet, has one.
And Ahad, the one God, has none. And Alam, the world universe, has one.
Exactly. So that single Mim in Ahmad acts like a bridge, a barzak, between Ahad God and Alam, creation.
Making the prophet the connection point.
The candle that gathers both worlds, as Attar puts it. A unifier.
This sounds like the idea of Jam al-Jam, the gathering of gatherings.
Very much so. All truths, all perfections, ultimately converge in the reality embodied by the prophet, like rivers flowing into the ocean.
And this leads us to Qiyamah resurrection. How does Attar see that?
Well, the root word, qawm, means to stand up, to be upright, straightness.
So Qiyamah isn't just about a future event.
It includes that, but for Attar, it's more fundamentally about truth, righteousness, inherent uprightness. It's a state of being,
Yeah.
and it's a call to embody that truth, that straightness, right now.
I remember Imam Khomeini had a quote relating to this.
Yes, unless a human rises in Muhammad in stature, they have no resurrection.
So achieving that inner truthfulness, that uprightness, is the resurrection in a sense.
It links our inner state directly to that ultimate realization. It's about becoming aligned with that fundamental straightness.
Wow. Okay, what a truly illuminating deep dive this has been into Attar Nishapuri's world. From the ethics of fidelity, that powerful story, all the way to the cosmic role of humanity in the prophet. Attar really does challenge us, doesn't he? To rethink history, meaning even what counts as a miracle. He invites us into a completely new, much deeper way of seeing things. As we wrap up this deep dive, maybe we can leave you with one last provocative thought. It's from Attar himself, he says. Ahmad is born as a healer in the world. 100 resurrections are hidden within him. And then he poses this question. From him, Qiyamah is questioned. How far is the path from Qiyamah to Qiyamah?
That's a great one to end on. If, as we discussed, Qiyamah means straightness, truth, uprightness, and the prophet embodies that ultimate straightness, then here's something for you to really ponder. What specific straightness or truth in your own life might you need to see or maybe confront or perhaps bring forth to experience your own Qiyamah? What does it actually mean for you personally to seek Qiyamah, to go towards Qiyamah in your own quest for truth and understanding?
Definitely something to mull over. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep seeking, keep pondering, and keep unveiling wisdom.